to play football, some unscouted kind of things. Thankfully, I've played these guys a couple times in my career, so I have a little bit of background. But they're doing some new things, some nice things, and but it's a lot of fun competing against them.
How did you feel like it went back and forth there?
Yeah, it was great. It was great work. We they did some good things. In the red zone, we did some good things. Third down, 2 minute, go down. They had some big plays. We had some plays. Like that's what these things are. That's what they should be. And when you got two good teams going back and forth like it has been in camp. Our defense versus our offense. It's been back and forth. It's been a lot of competition, and I fully expected that. Over here with this defense because I've played them, man, and they're a good group.
Derek, you guys have already played a preseason game, obviously. How much do you need a joint practice like this to kind of get the juices flowing?
Well, I love joint practice. I've always loved joint practices, even with my time with the Raiders. Like it gives you just different looks. You're not just seeing one coverage. You get used to seeing the same guy line up. Like even if they're disguising, you know what they're playing because you're used to seeing. And when you play a different defense, you're allowed to get different looks. And in the joint practices, people show more. They're going to show some more pressure. They're going to show some more coverage, variations, and things like that. And so you really get better, more regular season type looks in a joint practice than you would in a preseason game.
What has the process been like in general? Just a new training camp, new team, all the new city, all those things that you're adjusting to?
Yeah, I'm just adjusting, doing my best at it. We still have our house in Vegas, and we still have home base there. But coming to a new city, the first thing is I've learned Chipotle is not the only food in New Orleans. I learned that quick. I've learned a lot of things since joining, but for me, it's just been whenever you get released somewhere, that fire, you get rejuvenated, all those kind of things, and you feel refreshed. And it's been great inside our building. Again, like I said, I wish the Raiders the best. Those are my friends. I hope they win and do great. But I'm in New Orleans now, and I'm gonna give them everything I have with a new energy and all that kind of stuff that I'm excited to bring.
Derek, did you watch any of the Chris Olave, Asante Samuel stuff? How would you describe how the two of them were kind of going at each other?
I mean, that's Olave. He does that in practice. He's even if someone else catches a ball on somebody, he's walking in the middle of them talking trash. That's Chris. And so it's all good. It's all good competition. I thought this was one of the cleanest joint practices I've been a part of. There was no chippiness, but it is day one. People will be more sore tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully nothing crazy.
Derek, are we going to see you play a little bit more this week? Do you know?
I have no idea. DA just tells us to always be ready. And like I said, when you get released somewhere, any chance you get to put the jersey on and play in a football game, preseason or not, you'll never take it for granted.
Derek, do you guys use you use this 4 days out here as an opportunity to get kind of closer as a team? You guys all just kind of staying in one space. And,
yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got some team, some position dinners, some dinners with each other. You got sitting at the table with everybody again instead of going home at night and all that kind of stuff. So we got nowhere to go, and so the only thing you can do is get to know your teammates a little bit better, and that's been a lot of fun for sure.
How do you feel like things are just coming along with Mike Thomas so far?
Yeah, I think it's been great. This is a great group to compete against. We got some great defensive backs, safeties and corners. Schematically too. Get some match kind of coverage type stuff, and work on some tight window throws. And I thought we hit a couple of those today. And there's one or two that we can talk about, and that's what this stuff is for. So that when you hit the regular season and you're actually game planning someone, you're actually watching film, the matchups, all that kind of stuff. You kind of know what you're getting into, and you know what you're capable of.
How do these conditions just help with the work overall?
The conditions, yeah, feels like our indoor.
What has it meant to have Foster around and that adjustment that you're both kind of making together and everything he's gone through this summer too?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I talk about Foster now, we have to talk about what he's grinded through, and what he's using his platform now to help so many people that no one knows about or he won't even talk about. But as knowing Foster, he's just an unbelievable guy, and him and I, we have some inside jokes, and people are kind of looking at us at the table, and we have to kind of explain it, and then whereas we didn't have to last year. But we're in a new place, but it's been a lot of fun, especially having so many familiar faces. John's here, Lynn, Brian, everybody that that I was teammates with that's here. In New Orleans with me. It's good to have familiar faces to go through a new situation with.
You talked about rooting for the Raiders. You're going to watch the games. It's going to be tough not to when you're not playing.
When we played the Chiefs this past Sunday, I got home. My kids had the Raider game on. I'm watching my guys, and they're cheering for Daniel when he's going up there to kick. My daughter the other day was running around on the Saints field, and she said, "Touchdown Raiders." I was like, "Oh, wait. It's not yet, not anymore. You know, so those are my friends. You know, I have no hard feelings. Like I said, I got no hard feelings. You know, towards any of my guys. I want those guys to succeed, because I know, you know, when you don't succeed, it's tough and it's hard, and it's hard on your families. It's hard on everybody, and I don't want that for my friends.
Eric, you talked earlier about Mike Thomas.
Yeah.
He said, admittedly, that he's not back where he was. Maybe where do you see him right now? And his conditioning is coming back from this offseason and surgeries and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if he's, you know, not back where he was, obviously coming off an injury and all that kind of stuff, that would make sense. But he's still a heck of a football player, because I don't know any different. You know, from what I've seen, he looks like Mike Thomas. You know, and I keep saying that because that was my expectation when I got here. Is he plays violently, he's strong at the catch point, he's able to separate, and he's a great competitor. And so for me, you know, what I expected out of Mike Thomas, I've seen. You guys would know better than I do, but just being around him just a little bit, I've loved every second of it.
So what you said after the game about it felt different, but it felt right.
Yeah.
To where, like, have you reflected on that in the last couple of days, or just like, what you actually put on a different jersey?
It was weird, because Jay Kaner walked up to me. He's like, "That looks weird," you know. And when you're in one place for almost, you know, a decade, you know, it will look weird wearing something else. But it felt right, just for the season that we're in. You know, the season that they're in, the season that I'm in. You know, I think it's going to be good for everybody. You know, and you know, that's what it's about. You know, they got to do what's best for them, and I got to do what's best for me. And I think it'll be good for everyone.
Thanks, Derek.
Yep, good. Appreciate it. Yep, thanks.
Coach Allen at the podium, and Michael Thomas is right over here to the right.
How you doing?
Pretty good. I like the weather. You know what I mean? It's not bad.
The Southern Cal, my man.
Yeah, it's not bad out here. Yeah, look, I thought really good practice. I mean, obviously I was over on the defensive field for most of the practice, so I can't really speak too much on the offense. I think you got a pretty good rundown from Derek on what that looked like, but I thought defensively over there it was pretty good. Guys were competing. We made a few plays. You know, it's a really good team that they have. They got a good quarterback. They got good skill players. So it was a great opportunity for us to get out here and get better.
On first glance, would you call it even on your end of the field?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into whether it's even or who won or anything like that, but I felt like our defense performed pretty well.
Derek said that at least on this side, it was one of the least chippy practices like this that he's been a part of.
Yeah.
Is that true on your side?
Yeah. Look, I think, obviously Brandon and I, communicated a lot in terms of we just want to come out here and get some really good work. Two good teams competing against each other, but for these 2 days of work against each other, we're all in the NFL together. So for these 2 days, we're all part of the same team. The most important thing is trying to come out of this thing with both teams being healthy. And then secondary to that is how do we improve as a team?
Do you feel like you guys could be more productive today with less breaks and the weather?
Yeah, and yet, look, I mean, at the end of basically every team period, we got a little hydration in there. When we went to field goal block, everybody kind of got a chance to kind of rest up and stuff. So I feel like we got a ton of work done, and I think it was productive.
And so you guys traveled a number of your injured guys. Is that just kind of a sense that they're close?
Yeah, I think most of the guys are they're at that point where they're doing field work and things of that nature. And so, we felt like bringing them here and being with the team, treatment and stuff here. Still got some extra field space where they can get their field work done. So we felt for those guys that it was appropriate for, we wanted to make sure they were here.
And somewhat related, is this an opportunity for you guys to get closer as a team, do some bonding when guys aren't going home at night and they're all?
Yeah, look, I think I've said this before. I love, holing up in a hotel and just having your guys there and guys hanging out together, and that's part of the structure of the meeting schedule and everything that we're doing is to try to come closer together as a football team. All good?
Good.
All right, thanks guys.
Hey, I'm sorry. Good, Tyron.
How you doing?
Good, man. Tyron, is this just coming out here, the whole team's all kind of holed up in one spot? Is this a good opportunity for y'all to just kind of get some of that bonding in before the regular season starts?
Yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of the vets, we didn't have the, privilege of staying at the hotel this year, so a few of us, got the chance to go home. So it's kind of cool to be around the guys all day again.
How would you assess what you guys did on that end?
I thought we did all right. Obviously that's a good, group of guys that we're practicing against. It's a lot of different looks. They got a lot of good, skilled players. They got a great quarterback, but I thought we did well in the red zone. Obviously they missed the kick at the end in 2 minutes. For us to kind of win that series. I thought we did fairly well in third down, but obviously can always be better.
Just can you just describe what you get out of this, just going against somebody else where maybe you aren't as familiar with what they do offensively, aren't as familiar with the other players, and just getting that chance there?
Yeah, I think over time, you know what I mean? You kind of get accustomed to, what routes you're seeing from your offense. You kind of get used to guys, in certain spots, in certain formations. So, like I said, it was a good change up today. But I'll probably say most importantly, just going against a good group of guys. They got a lot of talent on the outside. Quarterback is phenomenal. And they got some good running backs too, so it was good work.
Derek said in Metairie that there was a lot of times that you guys were jumping routes, like calling out offensive plays.
Yeah.
I'm guessing here it's a lot more honest, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more honest. Obviously, hopefully tomorrow, we'll watch the tape and hopefully tomorrow we'll start calling out some routes. But yeah, I mean, you kind of get used to your guys. So the weather's good here, so people are great. So it's good to come out here.
Do you feel like you get more out of practice when the weather's like this? I mean, is there a legitimate difference in what you can accomplish when the weather's like this?
Yeah, I mean, for the skilled guys, it's probably the same. But you worry about some of the bigger guys, obviously, especially when those guys start to lose, 10, 12 pounds a day. That's not good. So, but it's good to kind of come out here, in some fair weather, like I said, against some really good players.
As a safety playing with Marshawn, a guy you know is going to get put on an island and you can trust, how does that affect you when you can kind of just play off of that? Does it help you out?
Yeah, I mean, it helps out a lot. It's a system-based defense, so everybody has a responsibility, really in a job to do. But you're definitely more comfortable, man in the middle, or kind of peeking opposite, trying to jump a route. When Marshawn's on the other side.
Cool. Thank you.
Good?
Thanks,
yeah.
Tyron.
Thanks.
Adam, we good?
Yes, sir.
Cam, when you get out here and get a chance to just be kind of cooped up with the team for a couple days, is this an opportunity for you guys to build?
Cooped up?
You know.
At the luxurious hotel that we're at? That's not cooped up. Take us back to the airport Hilton in 2011. We'll talk about it.
All right, let's forget
Yeah.
up, right? But is this an opportunity
The
for you guys
team
to
bonding
build?
situation over here in California, where it was like 67 degrees when I first woke up. I was still on New Orleans time. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I went for a run. It's great.
Yeah, I woke up at 3:30 this a.m. And I was like, my body thinks it's 5:30. Go back to sleep, please. Re-woke back up with a purpose. We're out here. We're trying to get better. And you sort of love the idea that you can come out here and literally have the most perfect weather type of day ever. Light breeze, 77, 80 degrees out. They're talking about it's hot. You're laughing because they have no idea. That's a competitive edge. We started off with pods, which were good for us. Anytime you can compete against another NFL team, it's great for competition levels.
So I did notice that a lot of them had their jerseys rolled up. So the Chargers experienced today as a hot day, you would say.
Is that what that was? Look, whatever they experienced, we would take this 20 days out of 20 days in New Orleans.
Right.
In fact, I might throw on a sweater tomorrow.
But they did say it was hot?
That's what they said. I don't know exactly who they is, but they said it was hot. Like, this is one of our hot ones. Really?
Can you get, personally, work done in a different way when it's...
Absolutely. When you're going up against, a guy like Justin Herbert who is as accomplished as he has in his young career, you can get work done. I love the idea that, we're doing these 2-minute drills, we're doing our team drills, and he's quick and outs. It teaches you patience. It teaches you that you have to, drive home to the quarterback, and sometimes you're not going to get there, but continue your rushes. You can definitely focus on the important things. I think they've got a good running back in Austin Eckler and what he's able to do. So in terms of team reps, you can hone in on exactly what you want to do to get better that day. You talk about today, one-on-ones, whatever that is. You guys will make fanfare out of it. I could care less. I'm just trying to make sure that, my next rep is better than my last rep.
Cam, along those lines, how would you assess how the defense did as a whole?
Red zone, I think there was a clear showing out right there. In terms of 2-minute, you can't let them mosey on down the way they did. A lot of quicks, a lot of whatevers, but at the end of the day, if we want to be a top tier defense, we have to have an answer for every type of offense that we see. Bend don't break. You saw. Technically, I guess you say we won the 2-minute, or maybe they won the 2-minute, however you want to look at it. I think that after we break down the film, we'll get better from it, and that's key. I'm not so worried. Younger me would say, we want to win each and every rep, and of course you do, but you also want to be able to learn from it. So let's break down the film and get better. Love that it's preseason week 2 instead of week 1 talking about this.
Is there a value to it just from breaking the routine and coming out here and doing something different?
Yeah. I don't, when you think about flying in last night, getting in at 7:30, having to adjust your clocks, your schedules, come out to a practice like this, where again, it's not like you're going to get tired physically, but mentally you get to see something new. It's exhilarating, and in fact, getting able to talk to, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, you can run some ideas off of them, pop them off real quick. That's the fun part. What did you see, and how do you get better?
Malcolm Roach had a bunch of standout plays today. Is he?
When doesn't he?
Is he having as good of a camp as it looks like it?
Yeah, I think he's refreshed. Obviously, Malcolm Roach is his 4th year in our system, and he has found his niche, if you will, and knows how to make these big plays. And mentally speaking, again, he's at a refresh point. It seems like he looks like he's reinvigorated with the game.
Do you feel really good about all the young guys across the line that were kind of stepping into either they're newcomers or they're stepping into new roles? Across the board, it seems like it's been a promising month for Carl and Peyton.
Yeah, absolutely. New guys in terms of Shep, in terms of Colin Sanders. You bring in, Roach, the way he's playing. Even, our draftees, BB, Brian Brzee. I think that's a lot of potential. There's a great thing about young guys is they have tons of potential, and you're trying to realize and capture that as fast as you can. And the faster we can do that and roll into week one with some added experience. That's what we're doing. We're building experience, and hopefully that experience is going to be phenomenal.
You guys are able to get some more interior push. How much does that help on the edges?
Yeah, that'll be a game changer, right? If we, dream world, you have 4 D linemen rushing every third down. It'll never happen. But dream world, when you have those 2 big hogs pushing 3-4 yards up and the quarterback can't escape through the A's and B's, it gets fun on the outside. Dream world. If you have 4 down D linemen every third down, maybe they can't double the ends. Again, dream world.
Like, hey man, it was in the 60s when you woke up this morning.
That's what. In terms of the decades, or are we talking about the weather? Yeah, well, weather it was sort of chilly. I put a sweater back on. I walked down. I was like, this is nope, sweater. Yeah.
Eric McCoy has talked about how quick Nathan Shepard and Colin Saunders are. Is that how you're seeing it as well? What is it like with those 2 on the inside being as fast as they are off the line? Yeah,
I love how Colin Sanders has surprising wiggle. You see an explosive nose like that, and he loves to play the run. You love somebody who knows their role and wants to excel at it. But at the same time, if you give him a chance, like say, he'll give you some wiggle. He got some moves. He got some things that, that root hog mentality that you sort of love. And then, of course, you talk about Shep and Brazil. They like to stretch that 3. And I can work with that. I mean, if they give me what they've been.
Surprising wiggle. Is that a reference to the worm the other day?
Man, you seen that? I mean, again, surprising wiggles.
What do you think about his personality, though? Like, not only as a energetic, fun guy, but also take on a leadership role. It feels like.
Yeah, reminisce of John Jenks in terms of personality-wise, and then he has not even a subtle leadership personality. Like, he's willing to lead the charge. Somebody you can go to war with, and you love that off rip. I like to, when these live bullets get going, you need to know who you can trust, who you can walk into a bar with and come out on the other side.
And BB, did he earn a new nickname?
He came in as, yeah. I mean, if you talk to my D-line coach, he was Brees, and that messed me up mentally. So, BB may be where I'm headed towards. As of like last week, I say I don't know if he looks like a Brian to me.
Does that mean he's earning something with his play?
Not at all. No, not at all. That was easier for me than him earning something. No. He's gonna have to work his derriere off to earn it.
A little bit of an under-discussed impact on the defensive line.
Wait, one more after him or one more because of him? Oh, there we go. I just want clarity.
We saw a couple of batted passes at the line today. It's something that's always been a specialty of yours. You feel like it's yet another way away from sacks to get into the mind of a quarterback?
Absolutely. Again, when you saw the team reps, when you saw, whatever the situations were, there was a lot of quicks, and how do you get those quicks down? Hands up. I think that, that's a great response, and it'll force them into some unfavorable situations or favorable for our defense anyways, and that's when you can really get that pass rush on.
Does quarterback height kind of impact that at all, or is it about?
Depends on the quarterback. Yeah, it'd be more along the lines of whether he's a high release guy or low release guy. It varies on quarterback. You assume shorter quarterbacks they have low balls, but sometimes that's not the case. They have a high release point because they have to get that loftiness in them. Last question. Okay. Y'all good?
Yeah. No, that
was a double question, so that was the last question. Woo, way to scoop that.
Hey, was that road